The Chauvin verdict is in. A winter blast hits Oklahoma. Find out when our spring weather will return. And another mass shooting at a supermarket. This time, it's in New York. This is OU Nightly. Thanks for joining us for OU Nightly. I'm Audrey Goodson.
And I'm Shannon Ehrhardt. We begin tonight with breaking news. Derek Chauvin found guilty on all counts in the death of George Floyd Jr. We're looking right now live at what's become known as George Floyd Plaza. This is the spot where his death occurred. Crowds gathered there since early today. Here's what was announced just minutes ago.
The jurors found Derek Chauvin guilty of second-degree unintentional murder, third-degree murder, and second-degree manslaughter. We know the combined charges carry a maximum sentence of 90 years. That's what is possible. George Floyd was an African-American man killed during an arrest after a store clerk alleged he had passed a counterfeit $20 bill in Minneapolis.
There is video showing Chauvin and 3 other officers on the scene, with Chauvin kneeling on Floyd's neck for 9 minutes and 29 seconds. Chauvin was a 1-year veteran of the Minneapolis Police Department. He was fired last year after the incident. There's a sense of celebration among the crowd that has gathered, and reaction is coming into our newsroom as well. Grace Written is in the newsroom. Grace, you talked with an expert who says the verdict is a sense of relief.
Oh, you're happy. No one's happy. A man still died. And I don't think that's the emotion. Again, I think relief, again, given that there have been instances where people have been found not guilty. And so that relief that, okay, this time it does appear that justice is being served. But again, true justice would have been that George Floyd didn't have to die.
Our coverage will continue, and we'll give you the latest information as it comes to us.
Well, it was 75 degrees yesterday. I was wearing shorts, and now it feels like 30.
I know, winter coat weather for sure. Catherine Liberta joins us live with a first look at the forecast.
Yeah, guys, it is freezing out here. I've got my jacket on, but it's not helping very much because we've got some strong northerly winds coming in, and it's bringing a drastic change in temperature throughout the state. Some parts seeing a 15 to even 30-degree temperature drop overnight, and that's going to continue into tonight and into tomorrow morning. We have a freeze warning right now here in Norman and for most of the state, and that's, again, going to continue into tomorrow morning. But you're going to want to grab a jacket as you head out the door and stick around because Colton Williams has more on when our nice April weather will return. Back to you in the studio.
Well, thanks, Catherine. Another report of a mass shooting in the United States today. The U.S. reports at least 150 mass shootings this year, with at least 50 this last month. Today, another devastating shooting occurred in Long Island, New York. Deyton Deller has the rest of the story and more.
Thanks, Audrey. This afternoon, a gunman opened fire, killing 1 and wounding 2 others in a Long Island supermarket. Gabriel DeWitt Wilson is now in custody. It's believed he's a former employee of the Stop and Shop. Witnesses said Wilson was carrying a small handgun as he fled the scene. Police have not yet released the names of the victims. Senator Ed Markey and Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez introduced their Green New Deal resolution. The proposal urges the federal government to tackle climate change by reducing greenhouse gas emissions, but also working to fix economic differences and racial injustice.
We will build homes, build careers, build futures. This is our opportunity to not only retrofit our buildings, but to future-proof our workers and the planet.
The Green New Deal calls on the world to reduce emissions to net zero by the year of 2050, but says the U.S. must take the lead in achieving that. And this morning, 2 were injured after a helicopter used for training purposes crashed at Fort Rucker Army Base in Alabama. A Fort Rucker spokesperson made a statement that the helicopter crash left 1 passenger in serious and the other in fair condition. The cause of the incident is currently under investigation. And in other news, New Jersey has added X gender marker to their driver's license and other state identification, indicating that a person's gender is unspecified. A big step for those that identify as neither male or female. Back to you guys.
Well, thank you, Deyton. Although many Oklahomans continue to get vaccinated, we are still seeing new COVID cases every day. Today, the state health department announced 75 new COVID cases in Oklahoma for a total of just over 10,000 active cases right now. According to the CDC, the total number of deaths in Oklahoma due to COVID-19 is now a little bit over 8,100.
African American Programs and Services is in the middle of another hiring process just after a year. McKenzie Gladney joins us live now.
Ladies, Black students are asking why Black staff members don't stay in their roles for very long. I spoke with a few former OU employees who believe they may have some insight as to why.
It was exhausting, but we also knew that there were so few of us.
Kayla Storrs served as a Black admissions counselor for OU, but it came with more responsibilities than listed on the job posting. Success of students of color was something that she took very seriously, even when her counterparts wouldn't.
If it wasn't us, who was it going to be? So we stepped up to make sure students were taken care of, working long hours, after hours, all the time.
She also served as an advisor to many Black student groups.
So if you were working 9 to 5 and then you decided that you were going to go and, be involved in student organizations or serve in some of those other capacities outside of that, it was out of the goodness of our heart and knowing that students need to be taken care of. There was no additional, hey, we're going to take care of you from an administrative side of things.
Lauren Whiteman served as the advisor to the Black Student Association and said not only was exploitation her breaking point, but also the mistreatment of Black students.
And I remember being so angry, frustrated to tears, because it's like this, I'm having to explain to you, to debate you on whether or not my students deserve to be treated with basic levels of dignity and respect. And your response is, so what? There's no race problem? This is all lies? Okay.
Storrs and Whiteman asked university officials to take a deeper look into the issue.
What's taking place behind closed doors? Has there been an evaluation of this turnover?
The former staff members say OU takes a deep look at the student experience, but maybe they should take a deeper look at the faculty and staff experience. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, McKenzie. Tesla CEO Elon Musk says the autopilot was not enabled in the fatal Texas crash. No one was behind the wheel when the car collided with a tree.
Plus, a little helicopter makes a very big mission. It might be thanks to a piece of fabric from the Wright brothers flyer, the first power-controlled flight on Earth. Stick with us. On Saturday, 2 men died in a tragic Texas car crash.
The crash involved a self-driving Tesla. Emma has the details on what happened.
In Texas, Harris County authorities are investigating a fiery crash of a Tesla Model S that killed 2 passengers Saturday night. Investigators report that no one was in the driver's seat when the 2019 Model S Tesla smashed into a tree. The all-electric vehicle appears to have been in self-driving mode and didn't make a curve, which caused the accident. The fire caused by the crash was so intense, first responders had to call Tesla to figure out how to put out the blaze. It took nearly 4 hours and more than 32,000 gallons of water to battle the intense fire caused by the high-energy batteries. A tiny helicopter made history on Mars before taking flight. NASA engineers sent along a good luck charm. Attached to the helicopter is a piece of fabric from the wing of the Wright brothers' first flyer. The charm must have worked. NASA's mini chopper named Ingenuity became the first aircraft to achieve powered control flight on another planet. Ingenuity so far has survived the frigid Martian nights, relying on its solar-powered batteries to fire up its internal heaters. Scientists say having a bird's eye of the terrain could revolutionize the way we study new planets. A U.S. government agency is urging Peloton Trend Plus customers with small children and pets to stop using the machine immediately. The Consumer Product Safety Commission says the message comes after multiple dangerous incidents with the machine, including a child's death. The statement from the commission said it has become aware of the 39 incidents involving the treadmill. There have also been reports of children becoming entrapped, pinned, and pulled under the machine. For now, the commission hasn't issued a voluntary recall because Peloton allegedly won't agree on a corrective action. Toyota is taking another step towards helping the environment. The automaker plans to introduce 15 battery electric vehicles worldwide by the year 2025. Shannon, Audrey, back to you.
Well, thanks, Emma. In Oklahoma, dialing up someone on the phone is about to become a little different. The area adds 3 more digits to their calling number, plus a new area code.
And I have to call up Colton Williams on this one and ask him, hey, is there going to be some warmer weather in the coming days?
Yeah, Shannon, our spring-like temperatures, they've been put on back order. We'll see where they're coming up next. All right, welcome back to OU Nightly. Thanks for joining us. I'm Colton Williams. Folks, we're taking a live look now at downtown Oklahoma City. It does not feel like April outside. It feels much more like October now. Cloud cover is beginning to dissipate just a bit, but we're sitting in the middle 40s now once again, not feeling like April. Winds out of the north as we saw earlier with Catherine outside. They are certainly coming down hard. So here we go. 48 in Norman, 45 in Oklahoma City, 50s across the state. Notice this cold patch over here in eastern Oklahoma. That's due in part to some showers and some snow. We're going to look at that now. Taking a look here, snow exiting the eastern side of Oklahoma. It snowed pretty heavily in downtown Tulsa today for an hour or so, but just now beginning to move out of that part of the state. And well, it's certainly once again not like April here in Oklahoma. Hey, lows tonight, we're going to get close to freezing once again now. 33 in Norman and Oklahoma City. It could dip into freezing for a small period of time all across the state tonight. So realistically, if you've already planted those plants, make sure you cover them this evening. I know it's late in the year to do that, but it certainly is possible here in the central and especially in the western and northwestern portions of the state. It is much, much cooler than, well, it normally is. And so 36 tomorrow morning. Certainly might want to grab the jacket on the way out the door, but we'll warm back up tomorrow. Finally, once again, we'll see 60 on our thermometers again by tomorrow evening, and I can tell you we're all in for that. 58 tomorrow for high here in Norman, 60 across the state once again. It's certainly once again is a much welcome change. Now, coming into Friday, we have a weather maker on the way. Talk about cold weather today and then severe weather potentially on Friday. We have an upper level low now here going to situate just west of Oklahoma. That is going to lock in some moisture and some instability for us, and that certainly could lead to a severe weather threat on Friday. Right now, though, it's still a little ways out. Moderate hail and 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts are going to be our primary threats, but certainly something you're going to want to stay tuned into. And that comes, well, with some showers on Thursday, potentially across the state. Once again, we're looking at a long-range model here, so the resolution is low, so it's important to continue to stay plugged into this, but a severe threat does exist throughout the state on Friday, and then on Saturday some showers could potentially follow, but it should be clear by Saturday evening. Looking at an absolutely gorgeous weekend this weekend, once again hitting the middle 60s by Friday. Friday's going to feel like a spring afternoon. Getting into next week, 75, and take a look at that. 80 on Monday. It's going to be breezy, but it's certainly going to be warm. Ladies, back to you.
Thanks, Colton. We are 4 days away from Oklahoma switching to 10-digit dialing. OU Nightly's Kayla Davis reports on how we should prepare for this change.
Asking someone for their number is about to get a little more complicated. Starting Saturday, a new area code as well as 10-digit dialing is being introduced to Oklahoma.
This way, everybody keeps their same number, and we simply overlay the new area code on top of the old one. However, in order to do that, we have to go to 10-digit dialing, the area code plus the number for local calls, obviously, because we're eventually going to have 2 area codes serving the same area.
Oklahoma is running into number exhaustion.
The bottom line reason for all this is so we don't run out of phone numbers.
But 10-digit dialing is not a new concept, as many areas in the U.S. have already implemented this change. In order to prepare, check contact lists and make sure those who have local numbers have the 405 area code part of their calling number. Check other devices for 10-digit numbers, including tablets, security systems, inventory ordering for businesses, anything that uses phone numbers when operating.
New numbers will begin having the 572.
This area code will be offered in the OKC, Norman, Stillwater, and other highly populated areas to those who are getting new phone numbers. Kayla Davis, OU Nightly.
Adding an area code to a phone number does not make it long distance. The 10-digit numbers will still be considered a local call.
Well, the undefeated OU softball team is absolutely blowing minds, and they're in full swing with a doubleheader tonight against Georgia.
I know Arnoldo has the latest update for the Sooners. Hey, are they going to go 35-0 by the end of tonight?
Well, guys, we'll have to wait to see. But I will have updates as they come, and OU baseball fans will have to wait till the weekend to see their Sooners play. More after the break. Hello and welcome back to OU Nightly. I'm Arnoldo Prieto Jr. There's plenty of news in the sports world, so let's jump right in with a live update from the OU Georgia softball game. The undefeated Sooners are leading the Bulldogs 1-0 in the top of the fourth. OU needs just 8 wins to set the new NCAA record for the consecutive victories. And while we're talking Sooner softball, Tiara Jennings just won her 4th Conference Player of the Week honor on the season. OU baseball fans will have to see their Sooners play as the game set for this evening is postponed. The game will be rescheduled due to weather conditions, and the new date will be set for May 4th. OU will be back in action at home this weekend against Georgia Southern. The OU women's golf team continues their success in the Big 12 championship, carding a 10-under 278. This moves the Sooners into a leads them into a tie for a second with Baylor, who both trail Oklahoma State Cowboys. The Sooners will tee off tomorrow and will start at 10 a.m. Now, new head coach Porter Moser does it again, adding his 3rd transfer in the span of 2 days. Former Duke point guard Jordan Goldwire announced his commitment to the OU yesterday on Twitter. Goldwire played with the Blue Devils for 4 years and will now bring much-needed help at the point guard position for the Sooners. The OKC Thunder traveled to Washington last night to face the Wizards, but fell short, losing 119-107. Bradley Beal led the charge for Washington with a 30-point performance. Thunder guard Mark Daignault said he loved his team's effort regardless of the loss.
And these guys played, man. They really played tonight. I thought the competitiveness, second quarter on, we really competed. It was a fun game to compete in. The guys were really into it. Obviously, we would have liked to get that one. And I'd like to get all these, but at the end of the day, if we compete like that, we'll continue to improve at the rate we've been improving. But that's a main ingredient.
And staying with the OKC Thunder, fans will now await a new name change for the team's arena. The Chesapeake Energy Corporation terminated its naming rights effective immediately. Earlier today, however, the name will remain until a new partner takes up the name. So the Wizards weren't thunderstruck in D.C. last night, but just across town, lightning struck this Nationals fan twice. He gets an attempt to catch a home run ball and his nerves get the best of him and he drops it. No souvenir for you. But wait, he gets a second chance. His second try was a success and he now gets to head home with his head up high. That's all the time we have for sports. Audrey, Shannon, did you guys get your tickets for OU spring game this weekend?
Yes, actually I did, Arnoldo, absolutely. I'm really excited to go, and Colton said the weather's going to be great, so going to be great to see Kayla Williams tossing the ball.
I know, it's been too long since we've been at Owen Field. I'm super excited.
And how about that Nationals play? Oh my gosh.
That's crazy. I can't believe that.
You never get lucky twice.
No, absolutely not. You never get lucky once, so he's super lucky.
Yeah, actually, I wish I was there, but hey, it's okay. Maybe next time. Well, Taco Bell's hot sauce packets will no longer be used for just Mexican food.
Coming up, we'll tell you their plan to become environmentally friendly.
Hello, I'm Noah Mack with an update over the Chauvin trial verdict. Derek Chauvin's sentencing will be announced in 8 weeks. Judge Peter Cahill said the court would look into written arguments from Chauvin. In other news, the Biden administration announces its full support for D.C. statehood. Congress vows to give Washington, D.C. a swift transition to statehood. If passed, the bill would make D.C. the 51st state and give it full voting representation in Congress. That's all for now. Back to the desk.
Thanks, Noah. 8 billion Taco Bell sauce packets are used every year in the U.S. alone, and Taco Bell wants to give the packets a second wind. The fast food chain is partnering with a recycling company called TerraCycle to work on a recycling pilot program.
Taco Bell is hoping by 2024 the packaging will be fully recyclable, reusable, or compostable across all 7,000 locations. There's no set in stone details yet, but the program is slated to be launched later this year. And Colton, let's take one final look at the weather this weekend. What's it going to be like at the spring game?
Yeah, as far as the spring game, it's going to feel really nice. Now, it's going to be a much welcome change from what we've seen today. But once again, talking about Friday, storm zone, look here, encompasses all the Oklahoma City metro and much of central Oklahoma. Important to keep your eye on this as things are going to change as we go throughout the next several days. I've got good news. Spring is returning for our 6 to 10 day temperature outlook. We are in a very high area of probability for warmer than average temperatures, and we can see it on our 7 day. Look at this, Friday, 65, those thunderstorms. Saturday for the spring game looks really good, and we're going to touch 80s by Monday. Ladies, back to you.
Warmer than average? Wow. I'm excited. It's better than that 36-degree weather today.
You're telling me, I know. Well, thanks so much for watching OU Nightly, a student-led, student-run, student-produced newscast.
Catch us back here tomorrow with the latest news, sports, and weather. Have a great night.
Good night.